Hey everyone, welcome back to Back in Time. I am Paulie and I got my brother Lou here. Hey Lou, how you doing?
Hey there, doing well.
All right, we want to first of all thank everyone that's been listening to us. All the downloads we've been getting and things like that. We really appreciate your support and love to get some feedback from you guys. We are on Apple right now on podcasts, so we would love for you guys to check us out on Apple and leave us a review, whether it's good or bad. Hopefully, more good than bad ones, and give us some ratings and tell us what you guys think. It's really been fun that we enjoy doing this. And Lou, why don't you give us some stats about some of the places that we've been getting some downloads from?
Yeah, what's really fun about this is we have the software we use. We're able to track where people are downloading us from and listening to us from, and I was really surprised to see kind of all over the place. We're in like 16 states, bro, which
That's
is
awesome.
really cool, and about 43 cities that we're in, and someone actually in Asia
Wow.
downloaded us. So we're freaking global now.
That's amazing. Yeah. And you said you can see exactly where they're downloading from, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I can see the cities and
Oh.
stuff. Yeah, so it's pretty
So,
cool.
so it's not like you can see them downloading from their bathrooms or anything like that. So we're okay.
Well, I don't have that kind of software.
Okay.
But
I think that's illegal anyway, but yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. It's been really cool to kind of see where people are listening, and I do know a lot of people all over the United States, and you would do as well. So, but there's some of the cities that you told me in states I have no idea who would have been downloading. So that must mean that it's someone that's actually just hearing our podcast. So that's pretty cool.
that is cool. I mean, we obviously North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. You'd expect those. Iowa, Illinois, Georgia, Arizona, of course. Since I live in Arizona, Virginia, Michigan, California. Massachusetts. I mean, it's just great. New Jersey, of course.
Well, they better be.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty neat to see, how across how spread out we are right now. So,
Well,
and I would love to be able to touch all 50 states. I think that'd be a great goal.
Well, it looks like we're on the right track, and I mean, even touching other countries and stuff too. So, I
Yeah,
mean, that's pretty cool. And all our Canadian friends, let's get involved here. We're waiting for Canada to join us.
that's right. Letter Kenny fans, please.
Letter Kenny. Oh
uh,
yeah, don't you know? Let's do it. Yeah,
sounds good. Sounds
yeah.
good. Pitter patter.
Hit her, patter. Let's get her done. So we're gonna we're gonna jump. We're gonna kind of recap really quick some of the people that might be listening for the first time and haven't heard our other podcasts. Basically, what we do is we talk about a little bit journey of from our journey from New Jersey to North Dakota, and also touching on the music and movies and things that affected us and impacted us in our life. So, New Jersey, of course, is a huge part of our lives, but so is North Dakota. Last week we touched on 1974, 1975, wasn't it?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
74, 75,
And it
correct.
was basically us kind of leaving New Jersey on our journey to North Dakota to start something new, a new life, different state, small town for sure.
Yeah.
And kind of that journey. And so we talked about being in steel, and then eventually just kind of making our move to rugby, which is where we're kind of leading us right now. Where here we are, we're going to jump to 1979, which is when we made our move to Rugby, North Dakota. Correct?
Yeah. So 79, I'm a freshman, finishing up my freshman year
Okay.
in steel. When our dad, told us that he had acquired a place up in Rugby, a cafe, um, that was pretty devastating to me because I was pretty established in steel at that point, kind of taking over as being the main drummer for the band, a high school band. I was in jazz band, the stage band, the concert band, swing choir. I
Choir,
mean,
yeah.
just really involved. And so that was really, um, I won't say it was devastating, but I'm like, wow, I'm going to have to make this change. And I didn't know what I was kind of going to. So, it was really kind of tough to have to go through that. But God knows we know how that ended, and rugby was just a great place.
Great place.
So
Yeah.
so let's talk about what was going on music wise in '79.
Oh man, there was so much stuff going on. Disco was blowing up huge. I well, I shouldn't say blowing up. I think it
Was
was
getting blown
almost
up.
coming
Who
to
knew
an
it?
end. Yeah, but the amount of music that was coming out at that time was amazing stuff. You had Gloria Gaynor, "I Will Survive." I mean, which is the the women's theme song all over any wedding I've ever DJed, I play at. So you had like songs like I believe Anita Ward, "Ring My Bell," and some things like that. So I'm thinking of some of the disco stuff.
In YMCA.
Well, and we all know that song. I want to throw their hands up in the air, do the
That's right.
YMCA.
That's right.
So and that's all stuff that I remember, and I remember now too because of DJing too from that era, of the music. But like, what were some of the big songs like other than that, the things I just said.
Well, I guess let's just start with the top song of the year. 1979, the top song was My Sharona by the Knack.
Wow, really?
And that's such a great song. I mean, simple, great, great beat. And, the Knack, it's funny because they almost, when you looked at the album cover, you almost thought kind of Beatles, or something because, they had the kind of the ties and jackets and stuff, and they so it's pretty cool. But enjoyed that a lot. Another thing that was pretty hot as well was Rod Stewart. Do you think I'm sexy? If you remember
Oh,
that.
oh, of course I am, but that's beside the point.
That's and then Blondie, Heart of Glass.
Oh, okay, Heart of Glass, yeah, good stuff. I mean, that was was that like kind of MTV generation, Lou? Do you know?
Well,
Like
yeah, MTV started in '81.
81. Okay,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
kind of getting
So
to that
a little
close time.
pre,
Yeah,
right? Yep.
right.
Exactly. And then we had, I'm just trying to think of some of the cool songs. Like, I mean, you had, let's see, you had Dr. Hook. Remember that? When
Oh
you're in love
yeah,
with a beautiful woman?
yes I do.
And it's so funny because Dr. Hook had the song on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Yes,
And when we were in Steel,
Steel. Yeah,
they changed the name on the cover of the Steel Ozone, which was the name of the paper there. So I remember that we used to always get a kick out of that. Other stuff that was out, Toto, Hold the Line, Kenny Rogers, She Believes in Me. Um, we had Bad Company, Rock and Roll Fantasy, one of my favorites.
Here's one I know you talked about this group last week. Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, "Don't Bring Me Down" was a hit in '79.
Oh,
Also,
such
good
a great
song.
song.
And one of your favorites too, The Police, "Message in the Bottle."
Yeah, it
Isn't
might
that?
be my favorite. Well, it's pretty darn close to my favorite.
I
Top
know you.
three.
I know you
Yeah,
like him.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sister Sledge, "We Are Family," and I know you remember the Pittsburgh Pirates when they were in the World Series. That was one of their big
That
songs. You
was
remember that?
huge. Yeah,
It was
I
huge.
do.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how we remember some of these things?
I know. I know. And then this is when, remember when Kiss went disco? I Was Made for Loving You came out.
Great song. Great. Oh man. Uh, you know, um, what's another one here? I was going to say, we talked about them also a couple weeks ago. Boomtown Rats, "I Don't Like Mondays." That was in
Oh, that came
'79.
out then? Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm looking through some stuff here, and you had Earth, Wind and Fire, Commodores,
Sail
uh,
On. That's right.
yeah,
Yep.
Amy Stewart, "Knock on Wood," which was a great song.
That is good.
Um, Pop Music by M was another big
Oh,
one.
so that's interesting because when I think of that, that's when I started thinking about kind of that new wave thing that was happening.
Yeah, you're definitely right. You're like kind of
Because then we think Cars, Gary Newman,
Gary
but
Newman.
that
Yes,
song was before, and it just kind of like you started to kind of feel these kind of electro synth stuff that was starting to
yeah.
kind of happen. So it's
You're 100% right with that. Trying to think what else. A few other songs here.
Foreigner, Double Vision.
Oh, great song.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a good song.
One of my favorite classic disco songs, Patrick Hernandez, "Born to Be Alive." Love that song.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
Oh
remember
man,
that.
it's such a great song, and I believe AC/DC too. Highway to Hell, maybe. Yeah, Highway to Hell, AC/DC.
Highway to Hell was then, huh? God, I don't know
Yeah,
why I thought that was earlier. Okay, yeah.
and then one
Well, we
more I wanted to say here. Sticks, "Babe."
Yeah,
1979. That's
yeah,
great. I love
yeah.
Fix.
That was a good album. Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, that's a lot of great stuff. That
but and the charts were mixed with all kinds of stuff.
yeah, it was disco, it was pop, it was rock, it was
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, it really was. Like you hear country artists, you Crystal Gale and Kenny Rogers and people like that, right in there with the Police and ACDC and
yeah,
Styx and and then of course like Michael Jackson Off the Wall album was '79. So I mean that was a big album also. I mean it's other than with the Jackson Five, this was his solo thing. This is what he was doing.
yeah.
And we all know what happened after that. So with him, so amazing.
Sure, sure. Oh, and Cheap Trick, I Want You to Want Me. Come on,
Oh, that's
come
great stuff.
on.
Live at the Budokan.
I swear, I've been to I've seen Cheap Trick, yeah, at least three times. But good stuff, really good stuff.
I I've never seen them, so yeah,
Mhm.
good job.
Yeah, I love the way they start their shows. It is so much fun, and they're one of the hardest working bands. Those guys tour all the time. So during this pandemic, you just wonder what all these bands. I mean, they're so used to working. That's got to be tough for them.
A lot of stuff. A lot of people doing stuff virtually online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
doing that kind of stuff. But I'm sure they miss the crowds, and those
catch
guys
them,
love those lives. They love to just travel and see the fans.
catch them at a state fair coming soon. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. So all right. So then let's talk getting out of steel. So it was that summer, I guess, right? It was really pretty close to after I was done, after school. So it might have been early June that we left.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was definitely the summer. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, because I can kind of remember saying goodbye to my friends, and it was just right after school had let out. So it might have been really late May, early June, and so we go to rugby, and I remember going in and seeing the big orange water tower. And it's the Rugby Panthers, and it's
Go
orange and
Panthers!
blank.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I tell you. And here we came from a town that was what was like 400 people, in Steel, and then all of a sudden we came to a town that was at that time was about 3,300 people. So it was a big change for us because we had already acclimated to the small town life coming from Jersey, right?
Which is funny, coming from a couple 100,000 people, and then
Sure.
now 400 now. Oh my
Yeah.
God, now 3,200. What
That.
are we gonna do?
Yeah. I know. The
Yeah,
panic was setting in,
oh my
right?
goodness,
Yeah.
3,000 people. Help!
So I remember driving to the restaurant. So Dad had the cafe, which was
Right on Main
on Main
Street, right?
Street. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. And then he had it was right next to the movie theater.
yeah. I spent many nights there. Yeah, movie theater, and then they had an arcade right next to the movie theater,
Loved
and
that
then
arcade.
on
Yeah,
the other side was Bailey's Drugstore. Correct?
Bailey was on the other side. Correct. Yep.
Yeah, Bailey's. I remember. Okay, and then
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that very well. Yeah, spent. I mean, because we spent a lot of time at the restaurant, obviously.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know.
So it was Dad called it was Louis Cafe, and it was just a great, like kind of like almost like a diner style thing where just good hometown food, and you had your regulars that would go in there and drink coffee, and they play shake dice, and
Yeah.
and then they'd leave their quarter for a tip, that kind of thing, which is so funny. But it was a great vibe, and I just remember in Steel you didn't have a lot of business there; it was very small. And then, but at that time there was a lot going on in rugby. When I
Yeah,
think when I think about the businesses that were in town, they had a J.C. Penney,
they
they had
did. No, they had a Montgomery Ward.
Anna Montgomery Ward.
That's right. I remember the Montgomery
Yeah,
Ward.
yeah, which
Where
was
was the
like all
J.C.
it
Penney?
was all catalog sales.
It was. Where was the J.C. Penney?
It was just up from that. It was
Okay,
on the same side, but just up.
I don't
So,
remember that.
oh yeah,
Gosh,
oh
I
yeah.
remember
And then we had three drugstores.
three drugstores.
How
I
does
mean,
rugby support three drugstores?
a lot of a
But they
lot.
did. I guess a lot.
Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of pill popping going on. No, I'm kidding.
Apparently.
I'm kidding, Rugby Panthers. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, but we also had we had, like you said, a movie theater. We had a bowling alley. There was stuff to do, and it was a fairly a small town. I mean, if you think about it, and but there was stuff to do. Like we had a huge swimming pool that was great. I loved the swimming pool. I was
Yep.
there every day during the summer. That's where I met all my friends at the pool. Here I am, the new kid, and knocking on people's doors. Hey, you have any kids I can play with? Yeah, that's how I was. But there was stuff to do. So it wasn't like it was, oh gee, I'm just gonna sit at home and do nothing. There was stuff to do.
There was, and I just remember making friends pretty easily initially, and meeting some people. And I don't know if you remember, we won't mention the name of this, but do you remember there was a friend of mine that I met, and we would get in his dad's pickup,
And
and,
jump.
and then we go behind the hub, and there were these remember that there were these like ramps almost, I mean these big ditches, and buddy at the time would go ahead and take that pickup and just take it airborne.
I do remember that, and I remember you. The one time you guys took me with you, and here I am, 9, 10 years old. And I'm in the middle between you, and we jump, and in the middle of the air, we're up in the air, and I'm looking over at you, and we're actually in the air inside the car.
Yes, it was, so your head is like up against the top.
Oh,
It's so funny. Oh
that was
my
the best
god.
time. That was
That
great.
was that was fun. Oh my
Yeah,
god. But how goofy. It's right behind the hub. I mean it's like little dirt tracks behind
I
the
know.
hub. It's just the weirdest damn thing. But anyway.
And of course, and those of you, also listening, rugby was known as the geographical center of North America.
It's still known as.
Well, and it's not anymore,
Even though but it's hey,
but
they
it's
still have the
still,
monument. It's still
but it's
there.
still a geographical
It's
center,
the
and that
money
was
maker.
and that was kind of their claim to fame, and people would go and take pictures with it and things like that. So, coming right off of, what is that? Was that Highway Two?
Two.
Is that
Yep, two.
Highway Two? There's the geographical center of North America, and you got the hub, which is kind of like a restaurant. They had a little tourist shop. You could buy souvenirs and things like
Yeah.
that. So there was traffic coming in. People came into rugby just to check that out.
It was
So
yeah, it was really cool. And that in that stretch on Highway 2, you had the at the time the Cornerstone was there, and then the hub across from it.
right,
You had the Andrews Steakhouse and the Hamilton Hotel, which was, and they had a pool, and that was really nice there. And then the place where we hung out a lot was Bob's Pizza Inn, if you
which
remember
was
that.
which was over by. There was also the Dairy Queen too,
And then the Dairy Queen was there as well. Yep.
right there.
Yep.
Bob's Pizza Inn was great chicken. They had such good chicken, and they were famous for their taco pizza.
Taco pizza, roasted chicken,
Man,
and then you would
potato wedges.
potato. Yes, they were so good. The roasted potatoes.
Man, so good.
Yeah, and you can't really get that back east.
No, not at all. Not anywhere.
Yeah,
And I lived in North Carolina, and even the southern food, they have the fried chicken, which is fantastic. I've been to
yeah,
some great
yeah.
places, but I'll tell you what, I would put Bob's roasted chicken up against anyone.
Mm.
I'm telling you, there's just something about that chicken was just it was delicious. It was juicy. It was just fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah,
So
it was the grease. That's what
I,
really did it.
I'm sure it was. Yeah,
Yep.
but it was good. It was good stuff, and we spent a lot of times there. Obviously,
I
other than other
can't
than
imagine.
other than our dad's restaurant,
Yeah, yeah. Just oh my gosh, so many pizzas were had there, and then they used to have those games up on the wall. Remember that? The little was it like the duck hunt type of
Yeah,
yeah, and you
and it
hit the
was the
button.
lights, wasn't it? Lights
Yeah,
that
they
you
were
shot
just
across.
lights, right?
Yeah,
And then you try to time it to hit the targets and stuff, and
I
those were
felt
all
sorry. I felt sorry for the guy behind the screen with the flashlight having to run back and forth. That must have been a terrible job, but yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, that was great. I'm trying to think. So then downtown, so we talked about the three drugstores. You had Bailey's, you had Miller's, and Corner Drug. Um, I don't even know. I mean, I know Corner Drug isn't there anymore. I thought it burnt down or something. I thought I
I'm
heard.
not. Last time I was in rugby, and it's been a little while. Unfortunately, I like going back once in a while just to kind of drive through and just
Mhm.
to kind of get those memories of. And I've taken my kids there and driven through with them and showed them, like, my old houses where we lived and things like that. So I don't really remember, if honestly, about the drugstore. So I couldn't really.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, unfortunately. So if
Then
someone has some information on that, let us know. Send us a message.
yeah,
Curious.
I almost wish we were doing this like live and had live chat going or something, just so people can kind of fill us in because we're doing this for memory. It's not like,
Yeah.
and as you get older, unfortunately, the memory you tend to lose a little bit here and there.
And also too, if there's any wrong information that we've given, please correct us so we can say the right things because we don't want to give any false information. But like Lou said, we're just kind of memories, and like now that we're older, God, I know I forget things all the time. So it's
Okay,
hard.
so speaking of correcting, I've been told I've got to correct this. So last week I said that the our accident. So if you guys didn't
Oh
listen to
yes.
episode 2, please listen to episode 2. That it happened in Alexandria, Minnesota, not Fergus Falls. So
Oh,
some little birdie told me that that was wrong.
that same birdie sent me a message saying that she was sorry for making us wear those shirts.
That's exactly right. Sorry about the shirt. So
So yeah,
apparently we both got the same message from the same birdie.
apparently I don't know how, but it's
Yeah.
amazing.
So Mama Birdie, anyway.
Mama Bird, yeah, Mama Bird. So yeah, so talking, we left off the drugstores. I'm sorry, and we're talking about that. So what else? I mean, I know we
No,
had.
then okay. So then there was also I think we had two jewelry stores,
Yes, we did.
Heilman and Lean's Jewelry. I
Leans,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Leans, yeah.
Um, and then we were also talking about the restaurants. But so downtown, besides Dad's place, there was also the Corn Coach.
Oh man, that place was awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
I used to sneak out. We used to sneak out at
it was right
lunch.
across from the school, right?
Yeah, right.
From
Elliott
the middle school.
Elementary,
Yeah, from the
elementary, and
elementary.
junior
Yeah,
high. Yeah.
yeah.
The junior high is no longer there. It's now at the high school, from what I was told. But we used to sneak out, me and my friends, run over to the corn coach just to get something. Whether it was a corn dog or just whatever, anything.
Do you remember what the big hamburger was called?
I don't.
The Piggy Puff.
That's right.
It was a monstrosity. I mean, you had to
Uh,
hold it with two hands. It was just amazing.
that place was awesome.
Little place,
Oh,
little gold mine because
well,
they were always busy.
corn.
So loved
Wow.
that. Used to love the bakery that was uptown as well. That was we used to go there. I remember, for lunch, leaving school, drag Main, run up to the bakery, and me and my wife, girlfriend at the time, would go up and get mocha bars.
Okay.
And these mocha bars, they were like they called them mocha bars, but there was nothing, there was no mocha to it. It was just a kind of like an angel foodie type cake with a white cream that were dipped in like nuts, and they called them mocha bars. But we always used to get those; they were fantastic. And they used to have
I don't.
Bismarcks and things like that there, Long Johns, and all those cool things there.
I don't remember those mocha bars. I definitely remember Long Johns because I and the Bismarcks because I am a jelly donut freak. So yeah, so I've definitely I don't remember the mocha bars, but and then wasn't there was like what two? How many grocery stores were there? Two, three,
So yeah, so they had Piggly Wiggly. Of
right?
course,
That was over,
they had Albertsons. No,
right?
not Al. Was it Albertsons? What was it?
Tollefson's was it? No,
Tollefsons. No,
right?
no. Wait a minute. What was it? Was it?
Was
Well,
Tollefson's a
it was a
steal?
super value. Tollefson was
Oh,
steel. It wasn't steel,
oh,
but
okay.
just the super value. So, and I forget who had the super value.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then you had Red Owl,
Right.
right? Was that the one? That was Solom's had that.
Yes,
So I think it was the Red Owl, and it was
great.
right across from each other from the super value. So it's like boom, it's all right there. But the Piggly Wiggly was up um,
It was down. It was down
by the
over
tracks, near the
by the
tracks.
tracks. Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they had at the time I think they had like three banks.
Citizens was on the corner.
Yeah.
That's the one that had the wall. Remember, I used to walk around the wall.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I forget what else, but they've been there a long time. And then
that
the
wall was dangerous too. It was a pretty good drop. I lost four of my friends to death that way, which is terrible. I don't know how they didn't
I guess I shouldn't laugh. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how they didn't get shut down for that, but no, I'm kidding. That
No.
did not happen.
And there's a furniture store. It was right on the corner.
Yes,
So you
and
had the.
there was a sporting goods store too.
So then you had okay. So then Leans had they had like a men's shop. They had women's shop, and I think their places were like in two different spots. I remember um, those stores. There was plenty of shopping.
There were. I mean, you didn't need to go, even though Minot would have been better with a mall or whatever, better stores probably at that time. But there was everything you needed. I mean, I don't remember. I remember when I needed stuff for school, we did it right in town.
Yeah.
If
Yep.
I needed
Yep.
sneakers, time my sneakers. It was whatever.
Hmm.
They went right to the store and got them. So rugby had everything that you needed.
Yeah. It was just a great town. Um, and let me think. And then of course the bars were there. Um, and I can't remember the names, but there's one that's still there that was there back is Lee's. Lee's has been there for God knows how long.
Hmm. I don't remember. I don't remember the bars because I was only 9. But I remember them being a. There was a few of them.
There was a
You know
few.
that
Yeah,
there
there's
was a
always
few
going to be
bars.
a few. Yeah, that's one thing about North Dakota. You can say that no matter how big or small the town is, you will have a kind of an unusual ratio of bars to people in these towns.
No,
Just
you're
just
right.
saying. Yeah.
No, you're right. And you have to wonder: is North Dakota? Is that Is it how high is the alcoholism? No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, there are. You're right about that. I obviously when we came back to, we lived in Hazen, and they had 5 bars. I
I
mean,
don't. I don't.
it,
It was just weird. Yeah.
for a small town, it's just really
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but whatever. People like to drink. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I think we kind of covered kind of the what the town was like and what was going on there.
And
Um,
you were going into 10th grade, correct?
yes, so here I am going to my sophomore year. Met some people that summer that were going to be classmates. But then there's this one cool event that happened that summer. And those of you, any of you guys listening from rugby, if back then they used to do this, I think they used to do this almost every summer. They used to have like a talent show.
And it was at the movie theater.
It was at the movie theater, and you'd have local businesses would send representatives and other and just normal folk would go and they really did a nice job because they'd have a panel, they'd have a band playing, and then they have all the talent. And I just remember that was really cool. So um, I remember Dad saying that he told me about this talent show, and it was either Dad or Mom's that just convinced me to enter it. And so here I am, so I figured out I'll play drums, and I found or somebody found someone to play piano with me. So here you have a piano and drum duets, right? Which is a little kind of bizarre. It's not like we're going to play jazz because we didn't do that. Um, and I just remember kind of getting ready for that, and going there and just see. We just had it was a really nice crowd, a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
people. Everybody
yeah.
was we were just rowdy, having fun. So, do you remember any of the acts there?
Um, yeah, I mean, I remember 2 specifically,
Okay, all right,
and,
yeah.
and one of them was our father. um, our dad decided to be Elvis Presley, and he wore like this blue leisure suit, and I think I remember him having handkerchiefs, and he was like throwing them out to the crowd,
Oh yeah, he
and
was hamming it up.
oh yeah, and well, we and Dad, how Dad was. He loved that era and all that music, and at home he would sing sing and be silly and do his dumb little jerk moves and his dances and stuff, and
Yes,
and
yes.
he enjoyed it, and it was fun, watching him do that kind of stuff. Oh, and so I I remember him doing that, and I don't remember the song he did. I want to say it was like, I don't know if it was like Hound Dog
I
or
think it's Hound Dog. He
I'm not
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah. I thought he was doing how to, and he had an acoustic guitar with him too
Yes.
that he was faking like because he didn't play.
No,
That
he
was
didn't.
yeah.
Now, that was
But
the one. That was the one group I remember. Then the other one was.
was he? Hold on. Was he? Did he lip sync
I'm
or
pretty.
was he? Yeah,
Well,
right.
no,
He wasn't trying to
I
sing.
don't. I
I don't
don't
even
know.
remember.
I don't remember. Dad, he would have no problem singing anytime he was anywhere. But but maybe he was lip syncing. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah,
That was that, and that was fun and embarrassing at the same time. But it was a
it
great
was.
time
It
watching
was
him do it.
good.
He handled up and had a great time. And then the other was the Blues Brothers,
Oh yeah,
and those
they were
guys
great.
they were great. They came out, they had the briefcase and the handcuff to it, and they did a really nice job. So those are the two I remember. And then of course you.
Yeah. So that's funny. I remember the Blues Brothers because one of the guys. Here's another business across the street from the cafe was a God something electronics, AC electronics or something like that. And one of the Blues Brothers was actually like the owner of that place, and
Oh,
that's where
okay.
we used to go there and get our cassettes. They used to have a little section of cassettes there, and so we used to
I
go
don't remember
there.
that.
Yeah, so it was almost like it was like a Radio Shack,
Okay, all right, that makes
with
sense. Yeah.
yeah. So and that's because he sold Radio Shack products, but it wasn't called Radio Shack. I thought they called it something else. It later became a Radio Shack, and I think moved out to the kind of near McGuire's Ford place,
Oh,
somewhere in
okay.
that area. But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
so I just remember him and then his partner doing that, and that was a lot of fun. So they all performed. It was kind of neat because you had three judges, and one of the judges happened to be the high school band teacher. His name was Mr. Rigg, Glenn Rigg.
Ron Rick.
And
Yeah.
so I remember when I got up to play, and so I guess before I do that, so um, what was cool about this was before I was playing, there was a band playing just in between the acts, so they were kind of just the filler music. So they didn't perform to compete. They were just kind of that background music in between the acts, and they played before and everything. So what was cool about that was the people there that were playing. There was two guitar players and a drummer. They had no bass player, and they just played some simple songs and stuff. But I remember kind of watching them, and then I went ahead and played, and it was really bizarre because here I am, I'm playing the Hawaii Five O theme with someone on an acoustic piano,
What a
which was
duo! What a
yeah.
duo!
I mean, it's like what the
Wow.
how did you pair that up? But for whatever reason, we pulled it off, and the crowd was really really nice. There was clapping and stuff. So it was my introduction to rugby. And I remember then getting judged by the three, and then I remember Mr. Riggs saying, "Well, I better give him a 10 because I think he's going to be in my band, this coming year." So that was kind of neat. But back to the band that was playing before that. After the show, the main guitar player came over to speak to me, and we started chatting, and of course, that person was Mark Buechel, who
Wow.
we ended up, obviously playing in a band together for several years, and so that was neat. It's the first time we met him, and we kind of hit it off after that. So that night was really important for me personally because
Oh,
I
sure.
was introduced to rugby. People got to know who I was. It kind of made it a lot easier to because I was generally pretty shy, and I was able to go ahead and kind of start things at school. Hey, here's the drummer, and so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean that was, and and those of you and those of people that know you and what you did in rugby can sit there and say, well, yeah, obviously Lou was the drummer. He was the man. And you were, and you did a lot of things, and we'll talk about that a little bit more through the next couple episodes for sure. But me being your little brother, I was like, my brother's the coolest, man. He's the baddest drummer in town. And I thought that was amazing. So and yeah, I don't remember, that whole part of the stuff, obviously, but I do remember I was only in fourth grade, so here I am in fourth grade, and and going to getting ready to go to Little Flower Catholic school.
That's right.
Little Flower, that's right, and altar boy and all that fun stuff. And I will tell you a funny story about altar boy,
Oh
real
boy.
quick. Yes,
Go ahead.
so I believe it was Father Campbell, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, Father Campbell would have been Steele.
Okay,
Oh,
who
is that?
was
Yeah.
no? Who's
Father Callenberg.
he was
He
mean.
was.
Ooh, man,
Yeah.
if any of you had Father
He would.
Kellenberg, you know what's up.
He could be intimidating.
No, he was mean. He was
Okay.
straight up
Okay.
mean. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the one morning I have to do like, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock morning mass before school or something. So um I think dad took me because he was going to the restaurant to open up, and dad drops me off at church, and I'm tired. So I fell asleep during mass, and when it was time to ring the bell, I totally forgot, and he walked down and he's like basically slapped me.
Well, Paul's an altar boy, and I was a former altar boy as well. That is the big moment. The
That's the
ringing
moment.
of
I
the bell
know.
is
I
the.
know. I know.
It's like we
Hey,
can't wait. You want to be manning the bell,
I always wanted to be next to the bell, except not at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't want to do it. So yeah, he basically slapped me, and I was like, start ringing the bells and stuff, and I
Oh,
never fell asleep again with him because I was terrified he was gonna, like, I don't know, kill me or something. He was an intimidating guy. He was scary.
oh my gosh, that's
So
funny.
that was a funny story with him. So,
That's
but
good
anyhow,
stuff.
but
That's good
yeah,
stuff. So how about for you? Do you remember? Do you remember starting school
I do.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was very fortunate where I had the summer too, and I met a lot of people. I met a lot of people over the summer, and this is not a lie. I would go to people's doors and knock on their door
I remember that. Yeah.
and ask them, "Hey, do you have any kids my age that can hang out?" And I mean, I seriously, you being the shy one, I was never shy. I've never been
Right.
shy. I'm
Yep.
a very outgoing one, and so I would knock on doors, and I met a bunch of kids, and I met people at the pool, and I met. Thankfully, I met a lot of kids because at the time there was Little Flower, and then there was Eli Elementary, and so I went to Catholic school, and then a lot of other kids that I met at the pool were going to Eli Elementary. So, but I did meet some people, and went to school at Little Flower for fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, and then everyone went to junior high, to middle school, all of them. So there was no like Catholic middle school or anything like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
all just up to sixth grade. So yeah, I met a lot of kids, and I had a great. I mean, I have nothing but great experiences about rugby.
Love it.
Every
Yep.
single one of them. There's funny stories that we'll talk about later, and things like that. And but I mean, I had nothing but great things to say about the people, the kids there. Um, it was a different time in life. It was just kids could go out and play, and when the streetlights came on, everyone knew they had to go home. It was just a different kind of time, and it was carefree. It was, let's have fun, let's enjoy each other, let's go out and play football. Let's, in the winter we're ice skating, and doing all kinds of stuff. And um, so yeah, nothing but great stuff. And as we say later on, when it was time for us to leave rugby, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay. Eighth grade was a tough time to say, let's go. We're moving back to New Jersey and start all over there. And if we heard in our first episode how difficult it was for me to start school as a freshman in a brand new place again, even though that's where we were from, we hadn't been there. We were in a small town in North Dakota, and I was okay with that. I was happy. So, but yeah, great experiences, a lot of fun. I remember going to the arcade, with $2 in my pocket. I'd be there for 3 hours. You're playing Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, and and
Yeah.
Space Invaders and all the cool games that were there. And I remember when Dragon's Lair came out. Do you remember that game?
I do. Yeah.
It was like a movie, a
Yeah.
cartoon, and you
Yep.
played it. I never got past, like, 5 screens. They were like, I always blew like $1. It was done. I was like, okay, this is the
Yeah.
shortest game ever. But
That was always the. It was trying to figure out to scrounge up enough money to go to the arcade. I remember that being a big deal.
you're grabbing quarters.
Grabbing quarters. Yep. And going through, but lots of time spent at Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. Oh my gosh, and Asteroids too. Space
Donkey
Invaders.
Kong.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong was my favorite game.
yeah,
Always has, still is to this day. Yeah,
yeah.
I love it.
It's a good one.
You actually remember when you were out here when we went over to that place that's in here in town in
Oh,
Bismarck,
right.
the
Yeah.
craft game. I was playing Donkey Kong. It's 50 years old, still playing
Yeah,
Donkey Kong.
it's amazing how the retro thing is obviously in, and it's great to see. Now that's kind of a cool place because you have adults can go there. You have beer and different taps and all that kind of stuff.
It's
Yeah,
self-serving
yeah,
beer. Yeah.
yeah. It's
So,
pretty neat, but you can just kind of relive your youth again as an adult.
and it's funny, like you say that because that when I saw that place for the first time, I thought of the arcade and rugby. Like when
Yeah,
I walked in, that's what
yeah,
even though it looked nothing like that, but that's what I remembered. I remembered going there and watching the one kid who was really good at a game and just sit there watching to see how far he got, or
yep.
the kids watching me see how far I got. Whatever the case was, and
That's right.
that's what it was about.
And then it was when you put your initials up there, how long could you keep your initials up there, right? It's always going
And
after
you
the
go
high
back and like,
score. Yep.
oh, I'm
Yep.
number two now. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
who's JKL? I got to go get him. Who's that?
Yeah.
Who is that guy?
Yeah. And
You're right.
and then also what was in the arcade as well was a foosball table.
Oh, you were good at that.
And I remember getting introduced to that, and we and they'd have tournaments every now and then, and I remember me and McIntyre were playing, and we just had a good run, and I think we won one of them, but it was yeah, just so much fun and competitive, and it'd be snowing outside, and we'd make our way to the arcade. Arcade's open,
Yeah,
and it's those are, yeah, good memories there for sure.
absolutely. And we lived in when we first moved to Rugby. We lived over by Ellery Park, um,
Yep.
house on the corner there, and I mean the park was right there, and that was another thing. I just go outside my door, run across the street, and there I was in the park. And the baseball diamonds were down there, and not too far down, and playing baseball, and it was honestly like you watch some of these movies sometimes, and you see like the small town America, and it's like the kids playing baseball and bikes riding up and down the street and people waving to each other. That's what rugby was to me. Like it really was. It was just a friendly place to live and be. It really was.
It was, and I thought it was a good place to go to school. And you always hear people have some tough times at school. That's going to happen. I mean, you hear a lot today about bullying and stuff, and even though stuff like that did happen, I thought generally speaking, rugby was a good place. People were pretty good to each other, and but you did have your cliques.
Of
I,
course.
I remember the jocks. You had the farmers and the jocks for sure. And then you had some of your oddballs and stuff, and then and it's funny because I tended to um, gravitate to all sides. Well,
Me
and,
too.
and then the burnouts. There was the burnouts,
Yeah.
which is always,
Yeah.
always funny too. But
Yeah. They were the ones driving up and down there listening to Ozzy. Yeah, Ozzy.
yeah,
And
and the puff
listening
of
to
smoke coming out of the,
yeah.
just
Because they were only
little
smoking
Cheech and
cigarettes,
Chong.
of course.
Yes,
They
yeah.
were only smoking cigarettes. Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, I was the same way though. I kind of hung out with everyone. I got along with everyone. I didn't have a certain group I hung out with. I don't think. I had friends that were. I played football too and stuff, so I was in sports and I hung out with everyone. I mean, I was in band. I played football. I mean, played baseball in the summer. Hung out with kids that were kind of nerdy. I hung out with everyone. It just why aim for one group? Why not be friends with as many people as possible and have a wide selection of variety? And everyone got along pretty good. Those groups could all get together and hang out.
yep.
That's pretty cool. Now it doesn't work that way,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Um, trying to think what else was memorable from that time. I mean, high school dances and stuff. I remember homecoming was
Oh yeah,
always a big
the
deal.
floats,
Yeah,
the floats,
yeah,
and the parades,
that's
and
right. That's right.
yeah,
Put
that was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And it was how nice you have small town America with doing the traditional parades,
Yeah.
4th of July, and the homecoming stuff. I mean, it's like it was really nice. Christmas was Christmas. I mean, it was all the good stuff.
It really, yeah, you're right. It was like I said, it's just very small town America, But they had the values, and they had those kind of old school values of
Sure.
family, and
Yeah.
when it was time to eat dinner, kids went home and ate with their families. Like you went home and ate dinner with your family, and that's what it was about. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen a lot anymore. So it's nice. It's nice to see that was how what we grew up in. We were part of that.
We did.
Big time.
And the town loved their sports.
Oh
Talk about
man.
supporting football, supporting basketball. I mean,
Oh,
wrestling. It
oh
was.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
remember. I
gosh.
remember that run when Panthers went to state.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like Paul Stock. Wasn't that like Paul Stockton? Wasn't
Well,
he like on the
yeah, Bruce
team?
Bruce Grunwald was like
Oh
he
yes,
fat. He was the fastest man in the United States at the time.
that kid. That guy was
Yeah.
when he played football. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
He was
he
just
was
so
gone.
fast, so
Yeah, he was
fast. Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, there
yeah.
was some really, yeah, just fun. Really proud. Then I got to play in the pep band, so that was a lot of fun. We play for the football, and we play for basketball.
I remember you used to always do wipeout at the basketball games.
Oh, I tell you, that was a lot of fun. That
Just to
was,
kill that one.
yeah, yeah, that was
Oh,
good stuff.
and everyone would just wait for you to do it, man. They couldn't wait.
Yeah, I remember sometimes I'd break sticks, and I'd always have to have some extra ones. Break drum heads too. Oh my gosh, I went through a lot of stuff.
Yes,
Well,
you did.
the school went through a lot of stuff because it was all on their equipment. Oh boy, uh,
I would like to thank the rugby musical department for
that's
all the
right.
extra heads and sticks. Thank you for letting my brother take out his aggravation on your drums. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
That's good.
That is.
Yeah.
So, how about TV of the day? I wonder. Let's see what was kind of happening. So you know what the number one show was?
I have no idea.
60 Minutes.
Oh
So
God,
that was the
really?
day where that was always number one. It was like must see television was 60 Minutes.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah. But the number one, so then I guess number two was Three's Company.
Well, that makes sense.
And it's funny. So that was, I think, the last season that Suzanne Summers was on. I think that was like might have been season 3 or 4 that she left the show. I think because of contracts, she wanted more money and they didn't want to pay her. So that was really good. Do you remember the show That's Incredible?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah, so that was the number 3 show.
That's
Um,
incredible. That was with John Davidson, wasn't it?
right, and wasn't like Fran Tarkington and
That girl, blonde
yeah, like
girl.
she was a Crosby, like Denise Crosby or
Yeah,
some Crosby. I don't know.
yeah. I
I
think I
could be
kind of remember
wrong,
that.
but yeah,
No, I kind of remember that. Yeah, I remember that's incredible. Yeah.
yeah. He had Alice and Mash.
Oh, okay.
Mash still going strong. I mean, it had been on for so many years already.
Well, yeah, and he had like, I think he had like WKRP in Cincinnati, right?
Might have been on. Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. Yep. It was the number 22 show
like
then. Yeah.
facts of life and different strokes and what you told about Willis,
Yep.
and
Yep. And
things like that.
and Jefferson's was number 8. Dallas, of course, was on. Knots Landing,
Oh God,
Fantasy Island.
the plane.
Love Boat. Oh my gosh. What was what
Oh,
was what was the bartender? What was his name?
Isaac.
Isaac. Oh, he's so damn cool. Isaac was cool. What's
Yeah.
up? Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh
I
my God,
love
love
Isaac.
boat. Gopher.
Go for the purser. Yeah. Oh
A
my.
purser.
Yeah.
God,
Like
yeah.
what is that?
And you know what? Funny about the Love Boat, like the
Stupid.
the doctor, okay, Bernie Capel, I
Yeah.
believe,
That's
played him.
correct. Yep.
The doctor.
Yeah.
He was like the lover boy.
Oh
Like the women. How is that possible?
yeah. Oh yeah. They
Old
they
doc.
all they all gravitated to him.
They just wanted the
Yeah.
doctor.
That's
It's
exactly
like
right.
I don't understand that one at all.
Yeah. It's not like he was a plastic surgeon, so I don't know what the
Oh
they're all
yeah, yeah.
good. So,
Well, you know what they say, love. It's
yeah,
exciting and new.
it is. It is. Come aboard. We're
We're
expecting
expecting
you.
you.
Oh my gosh.
That's
So that
funny.
was 1979.
Mhm.
And then 1980 came in. Um,
Amen. It
let's
did.
see what.
Um,
Yeah, so they were the 80s. I mean,
the
how
'80s,
exciting new
baby.
decade. Um, oh my gosh, that's just fantastic. That's so. What was the number one song of 1980? Blondie, "Call Me."
Oh, good song. Call me.
Hmm.
What else? What else was big?
Another brick in the wall. So you had the wall came out.
Boy,
Pink Floyd, correct?
yeah.
Michael Jackson, "Rock with You."
That's a good song.
Queen, "Crazy Little Thing Called Love."
Great song.
You had Billy Joel, "Is Still Rock and Roll to Me." Great song as well.
Love Billy. I love Billy Joel.
You had the Pina Colada song.
Rupert Holmes.
That's correct. One hit wonder.
Yes. Never heard about him ever again.
Never. And then, as I said it before, Gary Newman, "Cars."
Yeah,
And
well, and we
that's,
just said that pop music and cards.
yeah,
So
yeah,
back to back years, yeah. And you're right. It did. It was that synth pop, generation that started.
yeah. Because then,
Well, the Buggles
yep, yeah.
that came out, and
So I was 81 when MTV premiered, and I guess we can talk about that separately because I think there's probably some good tidbits we can pull off of that one too. So
yes, we
we'll
can.
save that for the next episode.
That works for me.
See if there's anything else that stands out. Oh, the Spinners, "Working My Way Back to You."
I used to love that song.
I used to have. It's so funny. Me and McIntyre used to have a dance that went to that. We'd do the stupid dance of "Working My Way Back to You." We'd be digging, like working, and then we'd do back, and then we'd point to you. We just
I
something
know.
stupid. Oh my
I
god.
know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh
Remember
my
also.
god.
Remember Cupid.
Yes.
I used to be like
Yes.
Cupid,
Yeah.
pull back your bow. Yeah, I used to go and let your arrow flow.
Oh,
Oh man, it's good stuff.
nice. Oh my god.
Just if I'm hurting anyone's ears from my singing, I apologize in advance. Sorry.
You're professional, man.
No, no, I'm not.
You're Broadway trained.
My singing days are over.
Oh man.
Well, and that was another thing in rugby. I was in the Oliver play.
Oh, that's the other thing too. I'm glad you brought that up. The town did a great job putting on musicals during the summer, and even
Yeah,
during the school year, there was good ones because I played in the
they,
pit band for those. But
but they were productions.
oh yeah,
I mean, it
oh
was
yeah,
fantastic job from again a small town putting together this production of Oliver. And I actually, and this is a funny story, and I will tell the story because I don't care.
yeah.
But I was actually up for the lead of Oliver. Um, I had when I was younger, I had a really good voice. I sang really well, and I was in a lot of stuff, and I did like musicals and plays and all kinds of things. Well, it was me and two of my best friends were all up for the lead part. Both of them were these blonde haired kids, and here I am, this dark kid. Both, and here's the funnier part though. Both of them are like 110 pounds soaking wet, and
Yeah,
here I am like 150, 160.
yeah,
This little
yeah.
quirky kid. Obviously, doesn't going to look very good when Oliver goes up and goes, "Please, sir, I want some more." It's like,
You've had enough,
sir,
kid.
you've
Yeah,
had quite enough. Why don't you
we're
go run a
cutting
lap?
you
Yeah,
off.
there's a treadmill. Why don't you go work on that one, kid? I did not get the part of Oliver.
uh,
So I am going to be speaking to my lawyer because that's discrimination. But I did get a solo part as one of Fagan's kids that I did get to sing a little
which
solo.
works for you too.
I liked it. I
Yeah,
worked it. Yeah, I'm a
yeah.
criminal. Yeah, so that works well. Um, and it was a lot of fun. And then just jumping ahead real quick, when we moved to Hazen, I actually was in Oliver again as an adult. And this
And you
time
got to be
I was. Tell me, who was I?
Fagin.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't Fagin?
I wasn't Fagan.
Oh, what
I
were
was
you?
the I was the criminal.
Oh, that's
What's his name? Um, Bill Sykes. Bill Sykes.
Sykes.
That's it. I was Bill Sykes, and I got to sing a solo, and it was fun. So I got to actually relive my Oliver days,
That's
and
neat.
do it. So it
Yeah,
was kind of cool. Yeah, I was in Oliver
it would have
twice.
been actually more interesting if you would have played Oliver.
Yeah, yeah.
I just little
42-year-old fat Oliver.
yeah.
Hi, how are you? And instead of doing it in an English accent, do it like in a Jersey accent. Hey, yo, I want some more. Forget about it. Yo, give me some more over here.
For some reason, I just had this. I just thought, how cool would it have been if in South Park Cartman played Oliver? Anyway, I don't know why I
That'd
thought
be
about
great. And appreciate it so much, eh?
that. Love it, love it. Oh
Yeah,
my
good
gosh.
stuff. So yeah, the productions were phenomenal, great performances, a lot of fun, and one of my best friends got to be Oliver, and he did a great job. So it was a lot of fun, and it's something we all got to do together as my friends. So that was fun too. And all the kids would try out for parts, and it was a big deal. Like it was they did like when they held like rehearsals. It was like, okay, we need you here at this rehearsal at this time, and we were there, and parents were helping out, and it just is a big. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to be part of that, and you did as well. So,
Yeah, the rugby musicals were fantastic.
mhm.
South Pacific was huge. Fiddler
That was
on the
good.
Roof was fantastic. I think on Oklahoma was done. I just forget all the different ones, but
What speaking of what was the girl Lou from rugby that was Miss North Dakota? Wolf,
yeah, Jeannie Wolf.
Jeannie Wolf. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was good friends with her brother Jason.
Okay.
And yeah, she was Miss North Dakota and came out of
Yeah,
rugby. So
yeah.
I mean, you see what I mean? Like rugby's got it going on,
Yeah, they do. They do.
and she had it going on too. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, hey, no, I'm sorry.
Oh gosh. Well,
But
all right. I
so
think we're
you,
we're
you
kind
want
of
you want
we're
you want
up
to pause
against our
here?
time here, huh?
Yeah, let's pause here and we'll kind of touch base on our next episode. Maybe we'll just kind of continue from here.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I think what we'll do is we'll go into 81, 82. We'll talk a little bit more about our band and
yeah,
the
which is
revolving door of vocalists that we had because we had lots of different singers. Um,
yeah.
and then let's see what I mean. I guess we can talk about you and things that you had going on.
I would really like when we get to like 82, 83, 84 in that range. My middle school days are the good stuff. A
Oh,
lot, like a lot of good stuff. So no, not that kind. We're not going to go. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep this PG 13. But
PG-13. Okay, very good.
but yeah, no, there's a lot more things happen that I can really relate to and talk about a little bit more, which is I was still young at this time.
Yep.
I was just being a kid, going to the pool and hanging out with my friends. So
Yeah, I mean, I
you
think
know,
when we delve into you high school and beyond, and really get into more of the East Coast vibe, and which is going to be kind of different. I mean, off of what we've kind of been going and talking about here, because North Dakota had a certain influence on us, and Jersey has a whole different influence.
whole different,
Yeah,
especially for me too. Like in my career, like later on, it's definitely a total
yeah,
360. Or 180, whatever you want. 180, I guess.
yeah.
360 would bring it right back to North
That's
Dakota,
it.
but a 180 for sure. But yeah, I agree. And you said that the drums and the piano as a duet. I like that as a duo. I think it works well. I think I'm gonna go DJ and piccolo and see how that works. What do you think?
Ooh, I like that.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
Oh my god,
that's
DJ and piccolo, Jenny Piccolo,
yeah,
Happy Days, right?
that's right.
This is the kind
Piccolo.
of the dumb stuff that comes out
Oh
when we
my
talk. It's just
god.
stupid.
Oh my gosh. Too good.
But yeah, I think we should probably take off and
Yeah, keep
get moving
this
on.
under an hour, and no, it's good reminiscing on that. I hope that everybody in rugby that's still there, that used to live there, that we brought back some memories of the good old days, and just how proud we were to be a part of rugby, and how much we appreciated everybody there.
Yeah,
Hopefully that brought
absolutely.
back a lot of good memories.
Absolutely, and still friends with a lot of people from rugby to this day,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
you are,
yeah.
and we have a great following from rugby people on I do on my Facebook and things like that, and I still get together with a lot of those people and hang out with them to this day, so which is nice. One person did from rugby ask about us telling the story of how we came back to New Jersey after we left North Dakota.
Wow.
So they wanted to know. They were curious. So that's something we will have to talk about. Not now, but we'll talk about it another time. So
Yeah.
Danny, I know that if you're listening, Mr. Parker, we will talk about that. I promise you. Okay?
Danny Parker.
Danny Parker.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
he asked about that. So that's something we will talk about, buddy. I promise you that.
Well,
all right,
cool.
bro. I'm not even going to bother starting the Fiero to get us out of here. I already called an Uber, so we'll get out of here that way.
That works. We'll Uber it out. Was there an Uber in 1980? No, was it?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
No. There wasn't even taxis in Rugby.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So yeah.
All right. Well,
guys, thank you guys very much for listening. We appreciate you. We will we'll check you out on our next episode, bro. I will speak to you soon, man.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.